Well, all I gotta say is fuck that schedule. I didn't know be having a schedule to post every fucking day was that fucking difficult. It's like I'm pushing myself to do something, and it's like hard to do because you have to think of the fucking story. So because I'm getting basically this is my taking a break from a little bit of the Deku stuff. I'm still doing it. It's just I need a little break from it. So this is my break. So yeah, new universe. New one I'm dipping into. Yeah, Black Clover. I watched it, and actually I've been watched it. I even read it with a manga. I'm deep into the manga, but I forgot where because my site I kind of got isekai'd. So if you ask me, what happened in this and this arc, I'm basically looking at the list of story arcs right now, just so I don't forget. So, and to make up for the lack of content being put out, I'm gonna try to do hour ones next 3 days. I'm gonna try. There's no promises. I'm gonna try to do more than 20 minutes to a half an hour, but be honest, like I'm not perfect. So that's all I gotta say. Don't expect me to be perfect. So time to start this. And yes, it is currently 2:17 in the morning. 2 a.m. stands for after the fucking music video, but we're not talking about that. Uh so I'm starting it off like this because this is what if Itachi was in, you know, was in Black Clover, obviously, because it's gonna be in the title. So he like I'm actually lower this down. He has his Sharingan. No, he does not have his Mangekyo because there's no point in it. What else? He's gonna have dark and anti magic. If you think about it, it makes sense for him to have dark magic. And I can't tell you what squad he's going to. Hmm. That's pretty much it, actually. It's his Grimoire is gonna be the same with Asus, except it has like ounces of dark magic in it. So let's start this. So Itachi wakes up in Hajj Village, obviously, with I mean, being an orphan. He's he's confused because one day he was in ninja heaven, the next day he wakes up in a bait as a baby in an unknown world and he doesn't feel chakra. But he does, however, know his eye. He does, however, feel his eyes still have the Sharingan. I just have to fucking rip wind. So how would I explain the Sharingan? I'm gonna say his Sharingan is more magical, like they're magic eyes to people, but it's not really magic. It's more like it would be chakra to him, but he's like, new world, new concepts. So from a young age, he has his Sharingan. Yeah, the three Tomoe. I know, so fucking original. Actually, no, not the three Tomoe. I just thought of how much shit happens in the fucking show. So he has one Tomoe. Sure, I have to get that yawn out. So yeah, he starts with one Tomoe from birth, and from birth, people are always calling him like a demon. I mean, say he has demon eyes, but the church is like, no, not really considering. And he's like, the main pre. Wait, was he a pastor or priest? I don't remember. It's hard because I haven't watched Black Clover or read like the beginning chapters in a long ass time. Like when I say long, it's been like since it basically came out. I haven't watched. I mean, read or watched it, and it's like what almost 200 episodes in. I'm guessing. So forgive me if I forget he's a priest or a pastor or reverend. And yes, I'm talking black church reverends. But what else is there? Oh yeah, and from birth, Itachi does feels like he's different, not because of the fucking uh, Sharingan, the world he's in. He doesn't feel chakra, and he's very weirded out by this as a baby. But he doesn't react on it. He's just silent and he listens to what's going on. And in listening to it, he basically like after a while he figures out, okay, so I'm in a place of magic, of like he says, and I quote, magic and thing called wizards. What the he's like he's confused, but he's listening, and then he as soon as she says magic, she's like, okay, so that's what I feel in me and around me. That's different from chakra. And he's starting like he's starting to listen, starting to adapt more and more, and he basically figures like the world out technically, like not to figure the world out, but gets the layout of everything. He's like, okay, so this is so it's not chakra no more, it's magic. Okay. And over the years, he's being helpful. He's training his body still. Because yeah, Itachi trained his body even though he was, you know, sorry, I had to yawn because remember it's like it's 2:22 in the morning for me currently. But I usually don't go to sleep until like 7. And before anyone says anything, no, I do not have school. Don't ask me. And basically, and I'm gonna let you guys know this: when I do start going to school, do not expect what ifs to come out of my ass. I mean, it'll still come out, but it's not gonna be like for like shooting off rapid fire, doing like rapid fire what ifs, like I'm gonna hit you with this and that. It's like probably gonna end up being like one or two what ifs per week, and that's my bad. But you do gotta remember, I am going to college still, and I'm gonna try and go like back to back semesters because I realized I can do that. Plus, for a matter of fact, is I fucking miss doing schoolwork because I have shit to do. Not only that, I'm gonna be working. I don't know when, but I'll be working, and what else will start slowing down? Well, they won't slow down as much as they used to, but they'll still be slow. So that's a little warning in the future. So I said, yeah, Itachi. That was fucking dead hard. That fuck. I'm watching Dead by Daylight right now. Sorry. Um. So besides that, Itachi is basically like throughout the years helping out, training, and learning more of the world. Itachi kind of figures that because many people don't use physical prowess, like many people aren't strong physically, and Itachi figures out I can take an advantage in that. Basically, being physically stronger than most will help me out in the end. And he knows his Sharingan, so he doesn't practice it, but he knows that he should always be ready. And what else does he know? Oh, and he doesn't know what magic he has, but he feels like he has something weird or uncommon about it, and he's just like not saying anything. One sec. But yeah, something weird about it, and with that being said, like he knows when he'll get one more, and he's waiting for that to see like, okay, what do I have so I can prepare for this in the future. And he later on like learns that he has what's it called? I mean, fuck, my bad. I'm skipping too far ahead. So years later, it gets to the part where he what's it called? My bad. I'm trying to think of it on the fly. It gets to the part where he. I mean, it takes time, but he gets. I mean, it takes a lot of time actually because he was still like 6 years old learning about it, and I'm gonna say it's about how long was it? Like they got theirs when they're like 18, right? If I'm not mistaken, about yeah, about 18. That's my hypothetical guess. Sorry, but it takes him a while. About 18, they basically get the go ahead to go get the grimoires, and in doing so, Itachi and basically head off and go get their grimoires. Now, hmm, when this happened, the same bullshit happens in canon, but Asta basically doesn't. I mean, Itachi doesn't get his grimoire, and instead of being like all like Asta, like, oh, I didn't get a grimoire, that's fucked up, and I need to train more. Itachi's like, okay, seeing as I don't got that, I can use something else because I still technically have my eyes. That could be of some use to something. And basically, Yuno's basically like doing the same thing in canon, not shit talking Asa, but it's basically like not shit talking, but basically telling him like you don't have it, so don't worry, don't overreact about it. Just just do you. And Itachi's not like reacting like that. He's like, okay, I could still be useful somehow. And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. And I say Itachi leaves before and starts heading home. And then this stuff happens again. And gets stopped. He tries to use his grimoire, gets chained up. Itachi basically hears about notice that has not caught up yet, even though he said I'm gonna be a few minutes behind, and rushes back. Now when he rushes back, he sees the chain guy, and in doing so, the chain guy basically is like, "Oh, you're the kid without the grimoire. You're gonna be light work, yada yada." And Itachi basically like blitzes him, and the chain he blitzes him and like punches him in the mouth. The chain guy basically was like almost knocked out. He was like, "Oh, like he hit gets the chain guy got hit so hard that he almost got knocked out. He was like, "Oh shit," and caught himself, and then shot chains at Itachi. Now Itachi is goated at dodging, but he ain't the best. He's still goated though, so he dodges all of them, and then they start bouncing off the walls everywhere. He's like, "Oh shit." And he can't get any ground, but he's dodging them still. And then Itachi's like, okay, I gotta think of something. And then, as more and more he thinks he can't figure it out, and then magical thing happens. His grimoire comes, and same shit happens in canon. Big sword comes out, and he's like, and Itachi looks at it, he's like, I can do something with this. And Itachi basically feels like he can reflect magic, and he does so. Basically, with the sword, when one of the chains go to hit him, he deflects it back towards the guy, and the chains wrap around the guy. And then Itachi runs up and basically does a huge slash, even though the sword is dull. So basically, he just broke this guy's fucking spinal cord and fucking collarbone to the shoulder and knocked the guy out, freeing And that's how that one goes. And no, he will not learn the dark magic now because it makes no sense to. Plus, dark magic is kind of hard to use to an extent. I mean, not hard, but you know what I mean. It's hard to learn. But what's the next arc? I can do two arcs on this because that was the beginning. Then it was that. Okay, so after I'd say what was it about a year after the time skip? It wasn't a year or a couple months time skipped when I forget, but I'd say I'm gonna move up to the point where they take the Royal Knight exams. Hmm. Actually, yeah, I think it was a time skip to the Royal Knight exams, if I'm not mistaken. Someone could correct me in the comments. It's been a while, but they go to the Royal Knight exams. It takes a while, but in that time frame of the little time skip, Itachi was training with a huge sword and got considerably stronger and faster. And he read through his grimoire and he has no magic whatsoever besides the sword. He's like, okay, this is weird, but I can work with this somehow. There's always he's thinking like, okay, where there's a will, there's a way, basically. And he takes the time to learn more. And he's just doing some training, like training his ass off, and he's learning more and more as time goes on. So then comes the time to leave Hajj village. Well, not leave is a strong word. I'd say departs temporarily. And they start heading to the Golden Knights exams. Royal Knight exams. And in the Royal Knight exams, we all know what happens. Basically, like they get there in the same time frame as they did in canon, about 2 days. Basically still like respects Itachi for saving him, but he's still on the same energy it is in canon. he has no magic, so he's more physical, and thinks like, okay, I have a huge edge against him in that. When Itachi, like he isn't, Itachi doesn't have magic yet, but he has a magic technically because he has a Sharingan which can read shit. And you can tell when he's an illusion based magic, which come to think of it, he's yeah, like that's kind of something. And the only reason why, like I'm gonna just say this, he doesn't have chakra in this, because Oma, like my good friend of mine, put chakra in his one, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just run off magic for mine because I wanted to. I could have just said chakra and said fuck it, but I said no, why not? And just chose fucking magic. Even though I went the harder route instead of the easier route. That being said, Itachi they get there within 2 days, and the same shit in canon happens. Mm, Uh, fucking a lot of birds surround Itachi, and Itachi feels nothing new about it when you get into the Colosseum. None of them peck him or any of that. It's like they just swarm around him, and they just surround him. And he's just looking at them, and they kind of get the mutual understanding, like in canon with Itachi and the Ravens. Or I was about to say ravens. Yeah, Itachi had like a whole fucking thousands of ravens when it was crows. And basically that's when a new spell pops into Itachi's book. And basically it's the same shit as like in Naruto. Like it's an illusion based thing or a substitution based thing with crows. I said crows. The sparrows. And Itachi basically like knows that and he's like, okay, so I got it. So this does like, this actually feels kind of familiar. And he basically like he doesn't use it yet, but he knows like the whole thing, transformation and all that, illusion, used for many things, even switch things into weapons. All right, time to continue. So after that, everyone that he it's the same shit in canon. Like all the Magic Knights see that and they think, oh, easy match. I might want to go against him. But the person with like the huge heavy armor defense was like, haha, I'm gonna get this kid to get my fucking rank up so I can get into the Crimson Dawn. I said Crimson Dawn. It was the Golden Dawn. I don't know why I said Crimson. What made me think of Crimson? Huh? Why was I thinking of Crimson? What the fuck? The Golden Dawn anyway. So like the same shit happens in canon. The guy think he's so fucking special. And yes, if my mic sounds different, I just changed the settings because it was on ear instead of over ear. So so with the Crimson Dawn, basically, I said Crimson Dawn. Why do I keep saying the Crimson Dawn? Like, let's talk about that. Why do I keep saying the Crimson Dawn? What am I thinking of that's so crimson? Hmm. I don't know. The Golden Dawn. Now, with this happening, he fucking DC'd? What a bitch. With that being said, with the Golden Dawn, I don't know why I keep talking about the Golden Dawn when nothing happens with them. So, same shit happens in canon. Guy gets prideful. Itachi basically attitude adjusts him. And basically hits him with the biggest fucking fuck you sword possible. And that's how that ends. Same shit happens in canon where Itachi gets no fucking votes and he doesn't react to this. Like Asa, who's like, "Why is no one voting for me?" He basically looks at all them out like, and he's like, he gets to understand like, okay, so yeah, it's kind of weird, and it's kind of out of the ordinary for someone to just do that. So he's just sitting here like, okay, it kind of makes sense. Two fucking DCs, these guys are bitches, and he's like, okay, it's kind of out of the ordinary. It's to be expected. Hmm. So Yami, after a while, Yami raises his hand. He's like, "All right, I'll take the kid." And everyone is shocked about it, and Itachi doesn't look overly happy or sad. He just looks like okay, and he tells Yami, "Thank you for having me." And same shit happens again, and throws on the robe and takes them to the fucking what's it called? Hmm. I forgot what happened after that. I think they did the whole teleport thing, gave him the shit, gave him the cloak, teleport, and we're in the facility, and that's where I'm gonna end it because I just don't think I should go into the third arc, which the third arc is the dungeon arc, and I don't want to clear 3 arcs in one video because even though there's a lot, I can basically just do the same shit. I can. Here's the thing: I could do that, but I'm still trying to get how people would feel about a Black Clover one. And I actually like this a little bit, so I'm gonna continue. If Itachi doesn't do it, I'm gonna definitely do it with something else that people suggest. But I'm gonna listen to y'all on this. Like, if y'all want Itachi, I'm gonna continue this. If y'all want fucking some weird ass fucking predator alien mix up mix up thing, I'm going to do that. Uh, Basically, I'm gonna listen to y'all. Whatever, like, I wish I had like community polls so I can have y'all say, okay, which magic do you think this like? Which do you want me to do? Black Clover, Naruto, or Dragon Ball Z? All right, so Dragon Ball Z. Hell no, I'm not getting into Dragon Ball Z. That's a weird thing to get into, and I never watched the beginning of it, but know the base of it. So, hmm. Yeah, I'm actually listening to y'all more because y'all the people, and I have to listen to the people. This is a democracy. Yeah, fuck it. It's not even a democracy. It's more like I listen to y'all because I want to, and I look at every comment even though it doesn't seem like it, but I look at everything. Basically tied to me. Some things are utterly fucking stupid. That's why it doesn't get like something, doesn't get a reaction out of me. And some things are like, okay, I'll leave a like, basically showing you that I seen it. Other times I look at it and just don't like it because there's nothing. I just don't want to let you know that I looked at it. But yeah, I watched the comment section because I want to see what people think. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that off here. Peace, and sorry this isn't like an hour or half an hour. It's just I wanted to see the general view on this and how it's gonna do. So yeah, thank you, and yeah, give me your fucking thoughts in the comments.